Journalism covers a lot of field, perspective, and angles. Thus, we cannot really deny that journalists really give their all and shows how passionate they are and works until they drop. This is really important that they let or allow us to see right through the articles, photographs, topics that they produce and cover to the masses. This is for us to be, of course, informed since it is their responsibility to spread news. May it be good, bad, may it be beneficial or not, to the people, to the masses. Here in the Philippines, we all know what is happening in and out of the media and to the journalist mismo. And today, we will be talking about more. Welcome to an episode of Press Freedom in our country. Its status, issues, and is there really press freedom anymore? More about that later. To start, I am Patch,
I am Ashley.
I am Nero.
and we are the Group 2. So before anything, let's have a bit kamustahan muna, no? So I have a question. Do you have, guys, do you have any background on journalism? Like, no high school ba kayo? Are you a journalist? Or do you have any interest towards it? Anything about you and journalism if there is? So let's start siguro with Ashley.
Yes, and I am a writer back in high school, and actually, I can say that I enjoyed my experience sharing factual information. At first, I don't have any interest in reading and entertaining stuff about political issues. Yes, I've Yet I found myself growing a character. I started providing valuable service because of the responsibility that I am upholding through the society.
Well, that's good to hear, no, na may background ka. How about you, Nero?
Sa'kin naman wala, hindi nung last school ko hindi ako kasali sa journalism, pero marami akong kaklase, kaibigan na kasali sila sa journalism. Natakot ako sumali or mag-try kasi nga hindi malalim yung English ko, hindi malalim yung Tagalog ko, pero ayun nga, na-amaze ako dun sa mga classmate and kaibigan ko na kasali sila ng journalism. Pumupunta pa sila sa iba't ibang lugar para makapag-compete, ganyan. And nakaka-proud kahit kaibigan ko kasi kaibigan nila ako kahit di ako kasama dun sa team is nakikita ko yung achievements nila.
At
Nice.
least you have a background, no? That story, no, that anecdote is very evident yung culture ng journalism sa mga schools. Well, personally naman, I admit na I'm a frustrated writer. Actually, I am an editor-in-chief in this school newspaper from my basic education, no? But it's not totally similar to the mainstream press or how journalism works in other schools because it's actually more of a yearly narrative report of what happened during the academic year. But we also face the challenges of the mainstream media now because the administration of my previous school is actually directing us what we should write, that we should only write about the good things and not about the calls and the issues that the students face during the school year. So since we're talking about press freedom already, no, I would just like to ask, what do you, or at least, can you give a definition of what press freedom is and how does it work in journalism? Let's start siguro again with Ashley.
Ayan, for me, press freedom refers to the fundamental right of all media, including radio, print, online media, and television, to function freely in society without interference from the government. It is having the right of an individual or journalist to report objectively with integrity and honesty. We all know that information is very important to society, right? And these journalists have chosen to be professional in the field of journalism because they have this commitment on providing legitimate facts and information. They also owe society an obligation to report the news to them as objectively as possible. So, whatever stops that from happening is a deterrent to the freedom of the press.
Yeah, that's a very good definition, no? That more than just being a right, press freedom is a moral obligation or the responsibility of our journalists. How about you, Nero? How do you define what press freedom is?
Ayun na, one of the foundational elements of our democracy is press freedoms. Yung mga reporters, yung mga journalist na um, walang border, yung hindi sila control ng gobyerno, walang restriction or walang censorship, yung sinusulat nila kung ano yung gusto nilang kung ano yung gusto nilang isulat, gano'n. Press freedom is under attack in the Philippines. Hindi lang siya sa Philippines, pati na rin sa iba't ibang bansa due to the crackdown on media that criticizes government policies and the impunity of war crimes against journalists.
Yes, no, that's it's very good. Meron na tayong introduction with the situation of the press freedom. So siguro to just to synthesize yung mga sinabi nyo, let's himayin natin yung press freedom. So we have the word press and we have the word freedom. When we say press, we're talking about the mainstream journalism, like the television news, the newspaper, and even the online news, no, like Rappler. When we say freedom naman, like it's synonym the liberty, the karapatan natin, no, na gawin yung isang bagay without facing any intimidation. So when we combine the word press freedom, we're talking about the liberty, the right of our press, our mainstream news media to express their stories without facing any suppression from any state forces or any forces at all. But we know now na they're facing a grave threat. They're facing a bad situation now in the Philippines. No, but still it is guaranteed by our constitution na press freedom is a constitutional right. It is a basic right. So since we're talking about the situation of the press freedom in the Philippines, how is press freedom seen today in our country? Would you say that it is in a good situation or not? And why? Let's ask Nero.
May nabasa akong article, ang title niya is Press Freedom Under Bongbong is Fake News. And sa tingin ko ay ganun yung press freedom sa country natin ngayon, and hindi siya maganda kasi nung SONA si President Marcos, ang binigyan niya ng um, nung parangal, hindi naman parangal, pero parang ganun, yung mga, hindi yung mga journalist, yung mga celebrity vloggers, yung mga content creators, sinabi niya na sila yung truth seekers. Even if there is evidence, they proliferate disinformation just as they were under the Duterte administration from 2016 to 2020. Sila ayun nga, yung mga YouTuber, yung mga celebrity, yun yung ano, parang nabibigyan ng highlight, hindi yung ng spotlight, hindi yung mga totoong journalist na nagpapahayag talaga ng totoong news. Parang ang mas ah, pinapatignan ng tao is yung mga sikat kahit wala namang laman. Parang puro sabaw lang yung content nila, is sila yung pinapakinggan ng maraming tao kasi nga ayan, sikat sila.
That's a very good point, no, na for two consecutive terms ng presidency, the journalists are under attack, no, under grave attack. So since we're talking about the issues, no, can you expound more on the issues regarding the press freedom na nakaka-affect sa pagpapakalat ng mga information and sa mga journalist mismo?
Raising fears that attacks on the media could continue under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s new administration in one of the most dangerous places in the world for journalists.
Exactly, no, nagkakaroon ng mga death threats sa mga journalist and iba pang attacks. So just to wrap up our discussion, we talk about the press freedom and how the press freedom now is seen. We had a short situational analysis and we defined the certain issues na nangyayari sa ating press ngayon. So just to end, like what was mentioned in the reading, karapatan sa pamamahayag ay patayang karapatan na dapat matamasa ng lahat. Kung saan sa karapatan nating mamahayag, nagkakaroon tayo ng karapatan na sabihin kung ano ang ating mga pangangailangan. Nagkakaroon tayo ng karapatan na mamili kung sino ang ating pangulo, ng uri ng liderato na dapat nating matamasa. O kaya bilang kabataan, napakahalaga na tumayo tayo kasama ng mga journalist upang mapangalagaan ang karapatan nating mamahayag. Dahil kung wala ito, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng boses upang mapanatiling ang ating iba pang mga karapatan. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig sa aming podcast and see you sa susunod na episode.